Professor Arouet in?
He is in, but I'm sorry to say the professor has lost the power of human speech. Is there anything I can help you with?
He's an old friend. I was hoping to talk to him about. I was hoping for consolation, sir. I'm so distressed. I'm so distressed about the state of the nation and everything that's going on, and I don't know what to do. I'm hiding in a closet. I'm hiding in a closet in the home of a friend in the deep woods in the north. I'm in the north. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I don't know if I'm in the right place. I've been stashing away things, rags.
Miss, may I ask your name?
Kathy.
Kathy. The professor has spoken of a Kathy in the past. Did you spend time in South Africa with the professor in the 1950s?
No, that would not be me. That would be my aunt. That would be my aunt. Yes, my Aunt Kathy.
He speaks of her very fondly.
Oh,
I wasn't born yet at the time.
Neither was I.
Excellent. And you're in a closet, my dear.
Yes. I'm afraid to go out. My friend slides me food under the door. I refuse to go out.
And why is that? What was it that you were, which area of the professor's expertise were you looking to consult?
I'm not sure, really. He's always been such a dear friend, and I've always found him so wise. And I'm afraid, sir. I'm afraid of Trump. I'm afraid of him sending forces into the cities and into the woods. And I've been gathering things like medicine and old rags and steroids, but I don't have any antibiotics. I have plenty of antipsychotics. I have enough to share.
Kathy, let me just ask you. We can take certain comfort in the predictability of the small mind. Do you live in a large city with a Democratic mayor?
No.
Then you're safe from Trump. The question is, you say you're in a rural area. Rural America is.
Should I relax? Should I relax against the totes?
Wait. Yeah. By all means, make yourself comfortable.
Okay.
Rural America is a very high risk of a brand of terrorists, religious zealots from an extreme sect who are heavily armed and believe it is their right to kill infidels. These are known as white male Christians. Are there any of those around? They sometimes organize themselves into groups and patrol things like state capitol buildings.
Yes, that's the problem. That's the problem, and they shoot deer, but I think they might want to shoot me. I went to a Black Lives Matter rally, and I have been petrified ever since.
Well, of course, the problem we have with these religious zealot terrorists is, of course, they don't need to be motivated. They're motivated by a fear that's deep in their souls.
Do they have souls?
Displaced and
I didn't know they had souls.
Well, of course, my dear, all humans are endowed by their Creator with an immortal soul, and we should pray for them all.
I don't have my.
Generally speaking, though, what we do know is that their attacks come in two forms. And if you understand the form of their attack, you can realize that you can probably leave the closet and resume your normal life. Form number one is the individual who, for one reason or another, simply wants to kill people. This happens about once per day in the country, but statistically speaking, at least before the pandemic, it did. Very often, they prefer to choose targets in order to demonstrate their power and the righteousness of their cause. They choose targets who are unable to fight back, such as children in a classroom in school, or people in a movie theater. This is a demonstration of their constitutional freedoms. So if you avoid large gathering places, which we have to do anyway during a pandemic, you should be fine. The other is when they feel necessary to organize, come together, and do a show of force, which it sounds like what they have done to you is highly effective. Remember that the goal of all terrorists is to affect the behavior of civilians, to terrorize you into abandoning your life.
What
Don't
life?
let them do it.
I'd even forgotten that I had a life.
Well, then the terrorists have already won.
Well, I can't let that happen. I have nice clothes in here. Look at this dress. Mr. Waters, you can't see this dress, but it's so pretty. And it has it's so pretty, Mr. Waters.
Well, isn't that what life is all about, my dear? Pretty dresses on pretty ladies.
It is. It
This
is.
is what the professor always said and always lived for, and still lives for, and we hope that should he regain the power of speech, he may be able to, speak forth on such matters, and perhaps
But you said
comfort directly.
What has happened to Professor Arouet that he's lost the power of speech permanently?
We certainly hope it's not permanent. This was occurred later once the delirium had progressed for about 36 hours. 36 hours into his last self-vaccination attempt for the novel coronavirus is when we noticed the delirium was strong enough, and then of course he ceased speaking. Though he has maintained a very high focus on his own medical care, and inside his plastic bubble is continuing to monitor his own vital signs, which he is scribbling down in a notebook continuously, and has been doing so for about 48 hours.
He has always been the epitome of the scientific method. He has never relented in his pursuit of knowledge, and he has always maintained that this is how we must approach the problems approaching humanity, that this is what we must do. I already feel encouraged. I already feel as though I can step out of this closet. May I ask you, do you think the vaccine will work?
Well, the current form definitely has risks we would not want to see. While the cost would be only approximately 50 cents per dose, which is the professor is capable of funding out of his personal fortune for at least a state the size of New York. Nevertheless, days of delirium are considered too high a cost. So once this passes, we assume that he will revise his formula.
And you said at 50 cents per dose per person, only for the state of New York?
Well, he certainly could, and he has discussed such things. We certainly can't. Unfortunately, in this country, we cannot count on those that we elect and pay to serve us in this matter. Not all of them, unfortunately. Those in the highest positions of power will not do so. Therefore, it will fall to private parties. And, of course, individuals. If something can be developed that is at or below the cost of a cup of coffee, people should have no trouble justifying that cost for themselves.
I certainly agree, Mr. Waters. I certainly agree. I simply find it tragic that it's come to this point. That I'm hiding in a closet in fear of civil unrest. I must ask you one more question. Do you yourself have any opinions as to what the outcome of this election might be? Do you think that the country can be saved from fascism?
Well, we must keep in mind, my dear, that the majority of American voters twice elected an African-American man, and then they elected a woman. Though the technicalities of the Electoral College put in place the loser of the popular vote. So we know that the majority of American people are not fascists and do not want a fascist. Our only real concern, of course, is that the current sitting president has it simply wants to win and will do anything to do so, legal or not. It's a matter of the strength of our institutions, which appear to, though they are bending in the wind, if not broken. So we have some hope.
Mr. Waters, I'm afraid that sitting in this closet has, rather weakened my interest in the conversation, and I now find that, I wish to find an outfit to match the rhinestones that I've glued to my face in an attempt to cope with all of this rather depressing kind of situation around me. Could I call you back? I know it's kind of like flaky and feminine, but if you could tell Professor Arouet that I've called, he'll appreciate it. It's something I got from my Aunt Kathy, this rather feminine trait. I truly assure you that I am an intellectual at heart, but this closet is full of dresses. It's full of dresses, and I just feel so cheered up. I just feel so cheered up, Mr. Waters. I know I'm flaking out on you, but I just feel so much better. And after all, isn't that what I called for?
Absolutely. And I would offer just one last piece of advice, that if you step out of the closet, you'll be able to see the dresses better.
That's true.
You can try them all on to your heart's content.
I'll have a better perspective.
If there's a gentleman within 50 miles who would care to see you model the dresses, then you would be making the world a happier place.
And now I'm ready to just... now I'm sitting back in the closet again, Mr. Waters. But thank you for your time.
Absolutely, anytime. And I will certainly tell the professor that you called. He has proven completely indistractable, but we are hoping when the delirium lifts that he will read his messages. And I'm sure you'll hear back from him.
Give him my love. Do give him my love.
Absolutely. I will do so with considerable reserve on your behalf.
Thank you.
Very well.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So many dresses. Way too many men. I'll stay right in here with the dresses. How do I ever turn the video off? I hope you enjoyed meeting Mr. Waters again. If you like this video, please hit the like button, which is somewhere. If you really liked it, hit the subscribe button. And look, this rhinestone came off. Thank God, because I don't know how to get these suckers off. I'm coping as best as I can with 2020, and I wish you all the best of luck too. Have a beautiful day, everybody. I never know how to touch it, to get this red button to, I don't know how to hit it and look at the camera and stop the whole thing the right way so that I'm not going, at the end of the video. Have a great day, guys. Stay beautiful. Stay safe.